war ration book.
What does that mean?
It means that we had a ration.
They give you coupons to ration food?
That's right. That was...
What year was that?
Well, that must have been in 1940, when we had the Second World War.
So you can only buy so much rice and so much bread?
I don't remember. I haven't really, but I don't know why I say that.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, I thought it was cool too. This is my father's mother. I finally found the picture.
Your father's mother? What was her name?
Oh, wow.
That's your grandmother, right?
Yeah, my grandmother. My father's.
She would have been an Engel then, right?
No, not an Engel.
I mean, she would have been a Rosen.
Yeah.
I don't remember her name.
Where was she from?
I guess from Russia. That's where they...
Do you remember where in Russia?
No.
How old was she when she died?
I have no idea.
Or how old were you when she died? Did you ever meet her?
Or maybe, well, we used to go there. They lived on Crown Street in Brooklyn, and, you know, my father and mother would take me to visit, but I really don't know how old she was.
This is cute.
What's this?
On my 15th wedding anniversary, we had a party at Engineers Country Club, and I had friends that were...
15th wedding anniversary?
I had friends that were married the same day we were. So we decided to make, because the Queen of England was being crowned.
So you made these
And
invitations?
we made the invitations. And we had this beautiful party. And so it was...
That was your 15th wedding anniversary, right?
1953. I was married in 38. It says, Their Majesties King Irving Schlesinger and King Harold Rosenberg command your presence at the coronation ceremonies of their queens.
Where were you and Grandpa married?
We were married at the Ocean Parkway Jewish Center.
Where? Ocean Parkway, Brooklyn?
Yeah.
What day were you married?
June 19th, 1938.
June 19th, 1938.
So this was commemorating the 15th anniversary of a supremely happy reign.
Were both your parents at your wedding? Was everyone alive still? Your parents and his parents?
Yeah, of course.
Everyone was still alive?
Yeah, well, sure. They were young.
When did Grandpa's parents die?
Oh, well, his father died in 1951. That I know.
Sam Schlesinger died in
Yeah.
1951.
Right. And his mother died,
It's amazing how this woman remembers all.
well, Vera would even know, I think. I have to ask Aunt Molly, which I can't. Because she lived with me after he died, and then she moved back to Brooklyn, and then she moved to Long Island. So much.
When?
This is my high school graduation picture.
Let me see.
Your hair was dark.
You became a blonde later on.
It was done by a photographer.
Oh, really?
And we didn't use cameras in those days.
Right.
What high school did you go to?
Franklin K. Lane
In Brooklyn?
in Bushwick section of Brooklyn.
When did you
I
move
walked
to?
20 minutes to get to school every day. I mean, 20 blocks.
Where'd you and Grandpa live after you got married?
Oh, after we got married, we lived on Ocean Park. No, it wasn't Ocean Parkway. It was, I can't remember the name of the street, but it was a block from Ocean Parkway.
And then where'd you move after that?
And after that, we moved to this apartment house that you see where Steve was. And that was also on Ocean Parkway, but it was near Cortellia Road, which was near, my parents lived across the street. And, you know, I don't have to tell you, when your parents live right across the street, they were always at my house, and they helped me with everything. They were wonderful. I never needed a babysitter, that's all I could tell you.
Right. And then when did you move away from there?
And then when Steve was almost killed on Ocean Parkway,
What?
with a car.
What?
He used to run across the street. I had to run after him. And Ocean Parkway at that time.
It's a busy street, right?
It was a busy, wide street. We had, you know, and I mean.
He almost got hit by a car?
He almost, yeah, well,
How
it was
old was
terrible.
he?
So I said, well, we can't live here anymore.
Yeah, how
you
old
know.
was he?
Oh, he must have been maybe 2,
Little stinker.
or something like that.
So where'd you move?
So we moved to Long Beach.
What was your address in Long Beach?
I don't remember.
What street
The
did you live
address,
on?
Walnut Street.
Walnut Street?
Walnut.
You can look it up in the tax records, probably. You know?
And who'd you live next door to? Didn't you live next door to Cab Calloway or something?
He was, no, not there. That was years later.
Oh. He lived on the same block, right? Cab
No, he
Calloway?
wasn't on the same block.
Oh, I thought he lived.
That was in Lido Beach.
Oh, in Lido
He
Beach.
lived in Lido. He wasn't on the same block because we were all living in houses.
Where'd you live in Lido Beach? What street did you live
I
on?
lived in Lido Beach, Eden Road, E-G-E-N, Eden Road.
And after you were in Lido Beach, where'd you go? New Rochelle?
Then,
No.
after we
No,
moved
my
from that
grandmother died,
house,
like, a
we
few
moved
years
to New
ago.
Rochelle. Yeah.
And my
Do you remember the address in Lido Beach or New Rochelle?
Well, I know it
15
was
years.
27 Eden Road,
No more,
and
17
then,
years.
27 Eden Road, Lido Beach?
yeah. And in New Rochelle, 192 Stewart Drive.
192 Stewart Drive in New Rochelle?
You
Pretty
have
good
to know all
memory.
these things.
I have to know everything.
Well, ask Steve, he'll probably remember the telephone number even.
Because my parents had their own business.
And who were your neighbors
New York City.
in New Rochelle? Do you remember any of your neighbors?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
How was the business?
Next door,
bridal gowns,
Mary and
formal
Joe
dresses,
Morris lived right next
tuxedos.
No.
door.
Yeah,
She was the most beautiful woman I ever saw.
yeah, they
When
did it
she-
for a long time.
It was
Like
1955 when we
20
moved
No.
there. And we had my mother-in-law with me
Yeah,
too.
maybe
She
almost
moved
20
with
years.
Who was that?
My mother-in-law, Grandma Jenny.
Jenny.
Yeah, well, she was still alive.
Yes, oh, look at this.
And,
Yes, it's
no,
nice
she
when
eventually
finds
wound up in a,
Mhm.
you know, assisted living place.
a-
And we used to go to visit her.
What year did she die?
Well, I don't remember that. I don't remember.
1960s? In the
Must have been in
1960s?
the 60s, yeah.
She liked it.
Where was she living when she died?
She was in this
And then
nursing
last
home.
night, for her
In-
tea,
in Brooklyn?
his dad said to give
Or
her
in Long
some
Beach?
watermelon.
Yeah.
No,
So we gave her some
no,
cold
no.
watermelon.
I don't know
She
where it
loved
was.
it.
Someplace in
She
Long
was just
Island, I think.
sucking on
Yeah.
the
I
watermelon.
think so.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, because Aunt Molly.
And what year did you move to
Aunt
Florida?
Molly was living in Long Island. Oh, I moved here permanently. I moved here in '74, permanently. But we had our first
And she
apartment
was
was
so
1969.
Hyper
that I
after the
bought.
watermelon.
In Hallandale?
I guess the sugar.
The sugar.
Yeah, 1,000.
And then you moved to Aventura?
14th Avenue.
First Hallandale, then Aventura,
Yeah.
and then Delray.
And then Del Rey.
We ate the beans. We ate some beans.
Oh, you did?
You gave your mama
Yeah.
some beans.
Were they good?
Oh, they were delicious.
And you used to hang out at Miami Beach, right?
Yeah, so they were
What year did you first go to Miami Beach?
1939.
No, it was her.
I was
You took
only
the
nine.
train,
Took the train.
1939, you were just married, and you came down to see Grandpa's parents, right?
Right.
They had a place in Miami Beach?
No, they
Aaron.
were staying at the Flamingo Hotel.
It's in the family.
Uh-huh.
It was right down on 2nd Street.
Mm.
I was telling Vera about it because that was quite a story when I
And
took-
what didn't
when
you
I
didn't you
came
go to
down
the Shore
along.
Club and
Oh,
the
yeah.
Shelbourne and the
Well,
Delano?
That was later, after my father was living. After my mother died, and we sent my father down to live here with Richie's.
What year did your father come to Miami Beach to live?
Well, my mother died in 1950. I don't know. I wish I had Richie Groden here. He'd remember.
She died in 1950 something.
Yeah.
And your father died in what
wait a minute,
year?
58. I think it was 58.
Where did she die? Where was she living?
My mother?
In Brooklyn?
When she died, my mother died in Brooklyn, yeah, on the same apartment on Cortelia Road.
And then your dad came down to Miami Beach.
Yeah,
1958.
And after she died, he came down to Miami Beach with Richie's grandmother.
Richie Groden's grandmother?
Right.
Let me see the tongue.
Well, we were living in New Rochelle, you know, and they lived around. the
Where'd they
corner.
live in Miami Beach? Do you remember?
Oh, you know, South Beach. South
Does
Beach.
that tickle?
Do you remember where though?
Tickle, tickle.
No.
Ah.
And so you'd come down and visit and hang out at the beach?
Well, only my father mostly came. He stayed with me, and my father left Miami Beach every year, and he moved in with me. I had a 4-bedroom house in New Rochelle, and we had one was him. So he would stay here. He would go down for the season in Miami Beach, and he had a good time down. You know, he loved the beach. He was as brown as a.
Where would he hang out?
Oh, he hung out where all the old
At the
people hung
Delano and the
out.
Shelbourne and all those
Maybe,
hotels?
I don't know if they were there, I don't know where, but it was down in South Beach.
Uh-huh.
All the elderly people were living there.
And so he
And he
loved the
would-
sun? He would just sit out and bake in the sun?
He loved it, sure.
What year did your dad die?
And,
1960s?
when your mother was someplace and she didn't come home for his funeral, that's when, I can't remember.
You don't remember what year?
No.
It was in the
She was
60s?
someplace, I don't know where, she was traveling, and I wired her to come home, that my father was dying, and we were gonna bury him, and she never came home. But I can't remember the, so I remember those things.
My husband.
He was cute when he was little.
Yeah. This is a mitzvah, huh?
Yeah.
He doesn't.
Did he rent an
She was
apartment?
bumming around, that's where it was, I think in Haifa or someplace like that.
Did he rent an apartment in Miami Beach or he owned an
Oh,
apartment?
he rented.
You never
No,
know.
you know, wasn't a permanent thing, because he only lived there for, he lived 6 months with me and 6 months,
How old was he when he died?
80,
He was 80? And how old was your mom when she died?
I know.
66.
Oh my God.
And how long were they married? 40, 50 years?
I don't know, not too long.
Did they meet when they were young or older?
Oh, I have no idea. My mother was 23
When she got
had
married?
me.
Oh, when she had you.
When I was born, I think. Hey!
And they were married before they had you, right?
Of course.
The devil he was.
They were married.
Steve.
Hey! Hey, sweetie.
And Irene was your only sister?
Yeah.
No brothers? Ever? Your mom never
Oh,
had
my
other...
mother had, yes, she did. She had a boy.
You know,
What was his name?
I don't know. He wasn't named. He was stillborn.
Oh, he was stillborn?
What did you like about him?
Because he was so different, whatever ever known. He was so